Hello and welcome to this live stream. I'm going to head to the area between the artillery and the ships with a bias towards the artillery. I'm flying a Macchi MC202. Oh, I better turn my lights on. That's better. I have 100% fuel. I chose a colour paint scheme that was going to match the forest around here as much as possible. Hello. Not entirely familiar with this plane. I haven't flown it very much at all. I've almost never flown it on the servers. So in this kind of full real kind of situation, just trying to find the airspeed indicator is difficult. That's it there. Looks like I'm doing just under 500 k's an hour. I think we've got some temperature down here. So far it's a little bit challenging to read all of the instruments, just purely because of unfamiliarity. It runs on basically the same engine as a BF109, a Daimler-Benz DB series built under license by Alfa Romeo, if I'm not mistaken. And it's an Italian plane, it's a Macchi. Macchi still makes planes today, I believe. Pretty good plane. Looks like it would be a good turn fighter with these big wings. Fairly high aspect ratio wings. I swear there were some ships to the north that disappeared. They must have been destroyed. Let's head to the artillery. Fairly lightly armoured this plane. You have what do you have? You have two 50 cals in the engine nacelle. And I've added two rifle caliber MGs, one in each wing, so I've got 4 guns, 4 bang sticks in total, and 2 of them are basically 50 calibers, so not too bad I guess, but not tremendously heavily armoured. Plane up there. It's probably a Stuka going in to attack the artillery. Let's have a zoom in. Or a JU-88. Maybe that's an 88. Looks like an 88 to me. Track hours fixed up nicely. This could be, I don't know. Sometimes multiplayer is rage-inducing. Sometimes it's boring and tedious. Sometimes it's scintillating and exhilarating and adrenaline-inducing. Sometimes it's just damn good fun. So I'm hoping for the damn good fun aspect more than anything. What I'd really like to be able to do is shoot straight. If I could shoot straight, that would be excellent. I need a new joystick. Being a bit hard on myself, I can shoot pretty well actually, but I want to be super accurate. That's got to be a JU-88 over the artillery. Look at him, the big Smorg the Dragon. I think I'll just hang 10 over here and he's going in for a bomb run. I'll just keep an eye out for yaks. He's going in. He's dropping, or he's doing a practice. Yeah, he's dropped something. You guys are talking about the warehouse. I might head out to the warehouse. Looks to be north-northeast. Is that still my JU88? Yeah, I think it is. Maybe I should stay there and escort him up. So difficult to know what to do. I think I should just go back there actually. But then again, someone said there was a bomber headed to the warehouse. But I've got a bomber here that I should really protect. There's no other fighters in the area. I'll go back and protect the 88 for as long as it stays there. It won't stay there for too long. It'll drop its load and it'll leave. Blasted the crap out of him. Yes. Yes, what a plane. Where is he? I better not get complacent. Where is he? He's coming around again. Damn it, I should have just bloody finished him off. I got a bit complacent after I had that initial success. I did pretty much have a full tank of fuel. That would have been a factor as well. Definitely the right choice to stay and protect the 88. Just briefly, I'll show you guys what I've got here. So this is the plane that I'm flying here. It's a Macchi MC202. It's a pretty good plane. Not many of them were built. It's got a German design engine, a Daimler-Benz, basically a Mercedes-Benz engine, fuel injected, etc., etc. Really good engine. It's got the radiator under here. It's got a manual oil radiator and a manual water radiator. It has two 50 cal machine guns in the nose. the nose, here and here, and then you can add optional guns here and here. You can either add some cannon, 20mm MG151 cannon, German cannons, Rheinmetall I think, or you can add, I'll show you, 7.7mm machine guns times 2. So that's what I've added, and yeah, that's what we got there. I could also add the bomb, but it'd increase the weight of the plane once the bomb's dropped, because it's carrying a bomb rack. The hard point to carry the bomb weighs quite a bit. Could also add an armoured windscreen. That might not be a bad idea to keep in mind. Normally you've got 850 cal. So normally you've got 850 cal in the 250 cals in the nose. Excuse me, and I've just added these two here, which gives me an extra 1,000 rounds, and it doesn't seem to weigh very much, maybe 50 additional mass, 50 kilograms, so that's a good deal. Doesn't lose you any speed. It's grayed out, but if you were to add the MG15120s, it loses you about 14 kilometers an hour, I think, which is quite a lot of speed to lose. Let's go again. Artorias. Any landing you can walk away from. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I walked away from that one. Not a bad first combat in the Macchi, really. Someone's just landed. This is a good airfield because all I have to do is chuck a right and go out there, and off I go. Going to increase the radiators now. So you've got manual radiator, but you don't have manual propeller pitch, which is good. Close the canopy, and let's go a yak hunting. Nimble plane. For some reason when I hit that yak and I got pretty good hits on it, I thought that I'd basically shot it right down, and then I just sort of forgot about it, and then I realised, hang on, it might be coming around on me again, which it was, and I lost the initiative, and that's why it got me in the end. What I should have done is just kept on attacking it until I saw it go into the forest. Only way, really. how that Smorg the Dragon Ju-88 fared. I imagine that he probably dropped his load and then got back to base. That could have been him back there. Have I turned my lights off? I think I have. Yeah, I have. Oh no, I've made a terrible mistake. I was running at 100% power, I think. Well, not 100, but close to it. The engine's going to fail. I better get back to base, get a new plane. Sorry guys, if I make it. So that was running at what power? That was running at 100% power. That's a failure, but it's actually a valuable lesson because this is the second time I'm flying this plane. I think that tells me I've got about maybe a minute and a half on emergency power before the engine fails. That is definitely a landing that you can walk away from. Mark's Guitar Lounge just arrived. Hello all. G'day, Mark's Guitar Lounge. Zeto is RIP. Not at all. That's a nice outfield landing. Let's go again. Similar engine to the one in the BF109 E7. It's an earlier kind of an engine, less automated, so it requires a fair bit of manual operation in terms of watching the power settings and the radiators and things like that. Zingler, hello. Alright, so I'll use 100% power to get airborne and then I'll cut it right back. Anything under 70% is considered continuous mode in this one. Same as the 109, it's got a gear indicator that's red, red, green, green, so it's red, red, which means gears up. Let's do a 180, let's head back to the artillery. keep the radiators water 40, oil 30, and I'll try that. Might have to increase it at some point to 100% if I get stuck in combat. Because I'm flying solo, generally speaking, my ethos is going to be to hit one target hard, shoot it down, and then vacate the area, even if there's others in the area. I never do that. It's so tempting just to stay in the area until I perish or become victorious, but you end up just getting shot down. So right off to the artillery, maybe after this the warehouse. It's a long way away though. We also have a convoy and an airfield to the south. That's interesting. That's closer. The convoy airfield might be the one to go for, I think. Then again, I get the feeling that warehouse to the north is undefended for the most part. So my lights are off. Gear's up. Don't know where my temperature is really, but I've got the radiators covered. A new plane like this, as in one you're unfamiliar with, it's a job's worth just to get it in the air and keep it in the air sometimes. It's an interesting plane. It's like you've got to watch out for the trees. Is what you got to do. You've got a gun sight there. You've got one sort of here, but you can also look underneath the gun sight, and they don't intend it, but there's something on the nose that you can kind of use as a gun sight. So, and that's something. You can see a little bit to the rear. I do have some kind of visibility either side of the armoured seat. Not perfect though. Just flying past the red artillery. Tempted to actually go and shoot the artillery. Why didn't I do that? Dampog, MC202, that's the one. I'm going to try and get some victories in it today, if at all possible. Okay, we've got ourselves a plane. What have we got here? Probably 109, but let's see. very far away. Looks like he's getting further away. Looks like he's going back to base actually. Could it be? What if it's a MiG? I can still see it. Is it worth chasing it? What direction is it going in? It's going down towards that area that I was going to head to anyway. Oh, and by the way, the artillery's disappeared. The one that I just shot up. That is good news. So that's that target done. We've got a convoy and an airfield down here. Rising a bit, and we've got a plane behind us as well. So we've got a plane in front of us and a plane behind us. We've got 2 planes in front of us. Very far away. Okay, there's some action over at the airfield. To my left should be the enemy convoy. And over here to our 12 o'clock, we've got an aircraft off in the distance. He's over that Axis airfield, I believe. Some shooting going on. They're at a much higher altitude than myself. I'll be covered by flak by the looks of it though, so that's good. Ah, now they've come into visual range. Look at them all. Right, let's pick a target and go close to full power and get in there and attack. It's a MiG, I believe. Is it coming closer? victory. Now reduce power and I'll get out of here.
Woo!
And that was a close call. Alright, so that was a victory. Just do a right-hand turn, make sure there's no one on my tail. Where. I used up a lot of ammo in that fight, so I'll go back and replenish the ammo. That was a victory. Man, that MiG or Yak or whatever, that took some killing, didn't it? Used up a lot of ammo on it, and I got a lot of hits on it too, on the airframe. I'll head to this one here. Right, reduce power. Alright, good work. Pat on the back. Let's check the chat. Marks Battalions tagged you. Yeah, it's a bit like that, wasn't it? I had to really press the victory, otherwise he would have turned the tables on me just like that. It happened to me just before. Good job, cheers. Alan, nice kill, cheers Alan. Frog's got me a little jumpy with that flying. Hey, you should see me, man. I'm jumping all over the place. I've got adrenaline and everything. That was amazing. Has a physiological effect on one's self, even though you're basically sitting in an office chair in the comfort of a climate-controlled room, but nonetheless, you sort of don't know that while you're in it. And yeah, it's adrenaline-inducing to a degree. Ragor, welcome. Oh yeah, that's right. I've heard about that. An interesting design feature apparently about this plane is that one of the wings is a different dimension than the other, and I believe it was as a kind of a permanent trim tab effect, if I'm not mistaken, to counteract the torque of the propeller. I would say that's an interesting way of doing things, to make one of the wings a little bit shorter or what have you than the other. Cessna does that, but not in that same way. They are aware of that aspect, but they simply address it by putting a permanent trim tab on the rudder, and it's bent left or right, and by the engineers at the factory, and that's a permanent trim tab for the rudder to counteract propeller torque on a Cessna. But in the Macchi, they just make one of the wings shorter than the other. so there you go. Now, where's that airfield? Just off to the right there. Inside the game, yeah, and I reckon trying out VR would be the next step up from that, which would be even more immersive. Alan, interesting. Yeah, this is fascinating stuff, to me at least. This is my cup of tea. Can't count my chickens before they've hatched though. I've got to actually find the airfield and actually land safely. Where is it? The lights on. Yeah, there it is, off the wing. So I've got a airspeed indicator down here. What's it telling me? 350. Okay, it's quite hard to see it down there. This is a cool sounding engine. I'm a little bit high actually. High and fast. Nonetheless, it's a huge airfield. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This plane is similar to a BF-109 F series, I think the F2 in particular, that if you push down on the stick too much, you get a kind of a negative stall or something, and you can flip it, put it into a spin. Hear that engine? It sounds great. It's got like a turbo or a supercharger. Was a real bespoke plane. I believe there was hardly any of them built during the war, maybe 600, something like that, which would amount at full production, peak production of Spitfire or Messerschmitt to probably about, I don't know, 2 months worth of production, if that. Probably peak production, probably, I don't know. But yeah, they didn't build too many Macchis, that's for sure. As far as multiplayer goes, this is my new, almost my new favourite plane, because I just got a kill and I got back to base safely. It did take some doing, but I was able to, it's a very satisfying thing. I was able to outmaneuver that plane, whatever it was, a Yak or a MiG or Lag or whatever. VR is great, but with VR issue to spot stuff in the distance due to bad resolution compared to a monitor. Yeah, I mean, it's in its infancy right now, that's apparent to me. Am I on the runway? I better, it's a big runway. I should be able to steer. I think that was a JU-88. I wouldn't mind getting VR when it's at 4K. That would be really, really something, or at least 1440. Just not ready yet, in your opinion? I think it's probably going to advance rapidly in the next few years. I don't know what the actual figure is. I'm saying 600. Maybe it was 300. Maybe it was 1500. Point is, like with say BF-109s, I think it was more like 15,000 or 30,000 or something. So this was a drop in the bucket in comparison. One plane, 2.5 successful landing, whatever that signifies, and 10 points. Let's have a look at the plane again, and then let's go for another flight. So this is it here. It's a Macchi. I'm surprised. Not many people fly this plane, but given what I've just experienced, it's very capable. I think some people have a extra difficulty recognizing this plane simply because it's not on the battlefield very much. People take a 109 instead of this one. I find it fairly easy to recognise because of the shape of the wings and the fuselage and the tail and this distinctive cockpit canopy as well, and everything. But yeah. All right, so we got the 2 times 7.7 mil machine guns, one in each wing. We got 250 cals on the nose. We got 1,000 rounds of the 7.7 in the 2 guns on the wings. And we got 800 rounds of 50 cal. 800 rounds of 50 cal. That's good. It actually lasted me for that whole combat. I thought I was going to run out of 50 cal and just be stuck with the 7.7, but no. I'll take off again with full fuel. Can't hurt, especially if I get a fuel leak or something. 24 German, 24 Soviet Union, so it's evenly matched teams today. I better remember all of my basic stuff with this plane, like not to fly at full power for too long and things like that. Familiar faces online just now. It's on. Canopy closing. Firma Spala Pilota. I'm not going to try and do the accent, but yeah. Radiators. Go about 40 there, about 30 there roughly, and I think we're ready. Taking off in combat mode instead of full power. There's 200. I should be able to rotate about now. Yep. What's that speed? 220. There's the gear up. Lights are out. Do a 180. Where am I? Up here again. Where should I head this time? I could go back to where I was, or I could go to the warehouse. I might check out the warehouse this time. See what's cooking up there. Oh, I've got to reduce that power. Right, there's continuous. Engine didn't seem to overheat at any stage during that previous combat. That was good. You've been learning the Bell Huey in VR in DCS World. It's so much fun. That sounds like a real challenge, flying a chopper. And the Huey, what a chopper, huh? That's the quintessential warhorse gunship Vietnam era. Huey is like an amazing helicopter. Very, very classic as far as helicopters go. But of course, big wings, but the roll rate's very snappy. Alright, there's lots of action going on everywhere. So again, when I see a combat, I'm going to kind of do the same. I'm going to sneak right up to it, pick a target, see if I can close in before I open fire, and then just absolutely, in the words of Gladiator, unleash hell and and try and just blast the crap out of it in the shortest space of time possible, even using emergency power for maybe a minute or something, and then just kill the target and then get the heck out of there. Train. Someone says train. Not if you don't mind killing yourself. Train is a fairly dangerous thing to attack. I like attacking trains though. What I'm finding around here on this map is the dangerous thing about the train is that there's so many fighters and bombers loitering around it. Usually the AAA gets taken out fairly soon, but then you've always got fighters and bombers in that area, like the train becomes a centre of gravity for the action, what the German World War II generals termed the Schwerpunkt, the centre of gravity, centre of action. Turn to the right a bit more. So that's my warehouse, so it's not going to shoot me. But, and that means it'll attract enemy bombers. It won't so much attract enemy fighters, I think. Only the ones that are wanting to cover bombers. Once again, I'm choosing to fly on the deck instead of going high. It's sort of a kind of a swings and roundabouts trade-off kind of a thing. Like if you go high, you can do boom and zoom. You can probably be much safer, but then you can't see anything on the deck. I think for optimal effectiveness, you need radio comms, and you need one pair of eyes on the deck like this, and you need multiple pairs of eyes up high, and the one that's on the deck can basically coordinate, like spot targets, and that's probably the way to do it. That's probably how they did it. Should have the big lake over there, yes. And should have the enemy coming in from over there. I can see... No, I can't see that. That's nothing. You get to the point where you're squinting at pixels on the screen, so the fact that I've got a really good monitor does help in that sense. It's a G-Sync monitor, so there's no stuttering, there's no tearing. It's about as good as you can get in this day and age. It's about the best technology monitor you can get. It's an Asus PG279Q, 27-inch diagonal length, and IPS, which is a type of colour creation panel, a type of panel. There's IPS and there's the other one. IPS gives you more vibrant colours. It has a downside to it too, but IPS is the way to go. And it's up to 165 Hertz refresh rate, which is excellent. That means 165 refreshes every second. Now, I'm currently running at 144 Hertz, which is the standard, what's called the native refresh rate for this monitor. 144 refreshes every second. And the G-Sync, which is an NVIDIA proprietary technology that lives inside this Asus monitor, is actually syncing up every single frame that comes out of the computer with every single frame that shows on the screen. And that's why I get no screen tearing or anything like that, and not really any stuttering. It basically completely eliminates the problem. It's pretty good. I highly recommend it. Asus PG279Q. And there's better monitors already, but this one's good enough. Where's the enemy? And the native resolution of this monitor, it's not 1080, it's not 4K, it's right in between, it's 1440p. So all of my videos are created, actually not all of them, these live streams, I dull them down to 1080 so that you can get a better, because it's live, so you need a kind of a smoother transmission, so I dull it down to 1080. But my single player vids and things like that, the ones that I produce after playing, they're all in 1440p, which is the native resolution of my Asus monitor. FYI, for anyone out there that's interested in monitor tech, the takeaway point is that monitors ain't monitors no more. Monitor technology used to be fairly singular and standardized across the board, but nowadays it's gone ahead in leaps and bounds, and you've got things like G-Sync and AMD's equivalent, which is FreeSync. That's something that's really important to know which kind of GPU you're running. Are you running an NVIDIA or an AMD? If you're running an NVIDIA, you want G-Sync. If you're running an AMD, you want FreeSync monitor. So there's a hugely important distinction there because they're not entirely compatible with one another. Where are the enemy? You know, probably 12 enemies have flown by. It's just I've been nattering on about monitor technology. I'll go back to the warehouse once more, and then if nothing, I'll return back to kill the artillery, back to where the artillery used to be. And then further south back where I had that dogfight. And now we're heading directly to the warehouse. Just thinking to myself right now, what would I do if I got jumped right now? Like if I saw bullets flying past and heard bullets hitting that armor plate there, what would I do? What would be the best thing to do? Because I'm cruising along. Hey, there's a plane. He's just dropped a bomb. That must be an enemy. It's probably a PE-2. How best to attack a PE-2 from above and really fast? PE-2s, by the way, are really fast planes. Yeah, that's a PE-2. He's going in for another kill, and I'll just keep on gaining some altitude, and I'll come in on pretty hard and fast, and hopefully it won't kill me. PE-2s are the most dangerous planes ever. They really are dangerous. Their tail gunner can just set your engine on fire and put a bullet through your head just like that. It happened to me yesterday. And again, very fast plane. It's almost as fast as a Mosquito, I believe. You could consider it a Mosquito, basically. Boom. He's done a boom zoom. He's climbing up. I don't know if he spotted me yet. This might go pear-shaped quickly. He's going to start shooting at me soon, I think. Shouldn't have done that. Ah, there he is. Might want to converge with him. Really, I want to be very high up above him. Let's try a boom zoom. This might be terrible, but we'll try it. Getting quite feisty. I'm just going to gain some altitude. Don't want to lose him though. And he's probably calling in reinforcements as we speak. Should I go head to head? Yes, because the PE-2 is not very good in frontal armament. Just got to watch out for the collision risk though. He knows that I know, and I know that he knows, etc. So we've got kind of a tango going on here. I wonder if I can snipe him with the 50 cals from out here. Look at that, eh? staying well clear of his guns. This could be a good opportunity. Yes. Quick. Quick. Damn it. Oh, yes. How did that end up, though? Yeah, I got hits on him on the port wing. Probably a fuel leak. Let's go again. No, dive. Whoa. Negative stall on the wing. I'm going to gain altitude with all that speed I've got, doing 380 k's an hour. Where is he? He's shooting at me. Where is he? Damn, I need to get on the deck and just regroup. Also, I wonder how long I can run the engine at 84. There's an explosion over there. Don't want to lose him, but in the grand scheme of things, losing him is better than being shot by him. But if you lose him, he might shoot you. So it's this kind of thing. I wonder what that explosion was. Was he dropping another bomb, or was that him hitting the deck? I don't know. Or was it something else, maybe another bomber? What can I do? Just head back to the factory. Alright, there he is. There he is, keeping him in sight. I've actually lost sight of him, he's disappeared, but I'm keeping the spot in the sky and the ground where he is, so then I'll be able to pick him up again. There he is. Looks like he's back at the factory, up to his old shenanigans again. Might just go in hard this time, eh? Was that the same plane? Damn, I didn't know it was coming at me. Let's go head to head with this bugger. Come on. I'm going to pull out. He's even just hit me then. He got me. For firing on a friendly, what's that? There's a plane down. Did I destroyed Dinkins, but he was the PE2. Oh, I know what. I'm flying over my factory, and I hit my factory with a stray bullet, and that's what that is. But anyways, I finally destroyed that PE2. So, pat on the back for that. Took a while, didn't it? And regrettably, he's kind of shot up my plane a bit. I better head back to base, turn the radiators up. Look at that wing. Look at that wing. Luckily, no yaks. Alright, hopefully we make it back to base. Yeah, so you can see just how challenging it was. If you consider this the closest thing to World War II combat, you can see just how bloody challenging it really is in ways that one wouldn't really necessarily expect, like just taking out a PE2. You'd think it would be child's play, but it's so difficult. There's Fragster, and he's got an MC202 as well. Bit of a freak out there. Accidentally pressed spacebar as I was typing. I thought someone was on my tail. Let's try that again. News is now I have an opportunity to drink the remains of my coffee and also to check the chat. Yeah. Actually, before I check the chat, I might just go a little bit lower. Going low is bad in a way if your engine fails. You haven't got much gliding distance, but I like the stealth aspect that my profile is less easy to see from a distance. Very far away from the activity at the front line here, so it should be okay. Maybe I should go for a train in due course. ANZ, by the way, if you put the 190's throttle at 94%, you get 9 minutes approximately of boost. Gee, that's good to know. Actually, do they have G55? What is this one? I think it's a 202. Which is probably the earlier version. Hang on, isn't the G55 the one in Blitz in Cliffs of Dover with the radial engine? Alan, this game is great. Yeah, you got that right. It's so much fun. PE2 is more dangerous than the 262. I'd pretty much second that. The PE2 is deadly. It's deadly because it doesn't seem to be deadly, but it actually is. Best map quality, so well done. Texture quality runs well. Mid-high and CPU. Yeah, that's right. I mean, we've got this full-on, fairly true-to-life forest situation going on here with individual pine and birch and fir trees and what have you. And it's all very to me this is basically the same as a you know when if you go to Paris and you go to the Louvre, you go to the classical art museum and you can see works of classical art there like the Mona Lisa or what have you. To me this is on the same level as that. This is a work of art, a modern day work of art, but I mean just fantastic. Or if maybe not to compare to the Mona Lisa, compare it to like a Hollywood movie, compare it to like, I don't know, Titanic or Platoon. If you want to look at Bell UH-1H Hueys, have a look at Platoon. I'd compare this to Platoon or to Saving Private Ryan, or a feature film of that kind of caliber. It's a really good work of art, motion picture work of art, if I can put it that way. Okay, let's land. Tour 2 with spicy meatballs inbound to airfield in a few minutes. Where's the airfield? I have to check when I land. Just under 300 k's now. Apparently I've got full flap down. And the gear is green, which means it's down and I've got the lights on. She lands well. What a plane, huh? I really got shot up by that PU2, bullet holes everywhere. I've just realised something. I don't have differential braking in this plane. I only have a single brake, so all the time I was using left and right brakes and it wasn't actually doing anything. I've just got a single brake for both the main wheels. Okay, let's get into a new plane and go and join Fragster in the MC202 attacking the airfield. One plane, successful landing, 20 points. Where's the airfield? Where's the airfield? There it is there. Okay, so going to try and take off from here. Just check I've got everything. 150 meters convergence, extra guns. Yeah. Full fuel. All right, ready to rock and roll. Cheers, Mark. Thanks for joining. See you next time. Cheers. Ragor, this one's Wings of Liberty. Alan, nice flying. Thanks, Alan. I'm glad I got back to base. That's twice now that I've got back to base. So I'm at a different airfield. Got a different takeoff direction, I'd say. Looks like I can take off out there. I could probably take off towards the hangars as well. I think this is a circular shaped airfield. pretty good rudder response on this plane. In some of the newer BF109s, the G series for example, I can move the rudder and I don't get this kind of response. This one has really good rudder response. That helped me to shoot down that last fighter plane that I took out. So I was able to rudder into his turn and cut his turn. It was really good. I'm going the wrong way. Ragwell's connected. The plot thickens. So now there's literally 3 of us that are that have been in the chat at one point, either today or yesterday, that are actually now flying in this combat. So I'm heading. Fragster was talking about the airfield. I think he's talking about the red airfield. Just sort of a status message that Frag destroyed a parked PE2, so that tells me that he is at the red airfield, and so I'm headed to the one that he's at, which is all good, and I'll be there probably in about 4 or 5 minutes, I think. Someone else is there too, attacking the airfield. This will probably be the last flight, so hopefully it's going to be a good one. It's been an amazingly productive session so far. I killed a PE2 and I killed a fighter, whatever the fighter was. And I almost killed another fighter earlier, but I kind of got complacent when I got some good hits on it. And then it turned the tables on me just like that and shot me down, unfortunately. So if you want to kill, you really got to fight for it. Otherwise it'll slip out of your grasp. Zane says there could be a dev blog today. Yeah, there could be. There could be indeed. I hope so. Jeff says, how well does the MC202 roll? I was looking at it earlier. It seems to be very good, like very snappy. It's quite a long, high aspect ratio, a long, thin wing, but it seems to roll really, really well. I don't know what to compare it to exactly. Maybe a Spitfire with big wings or something. There's a plane up there. Wonder what that is. Far away. Something with the chat there. The chat can be very confusing. You've got to press Control Enter. You press Control Enter and it doesn't do you the team chat. It does the general broadcast. Not to worry. 5 minutes left. Too much focusing on the chat, sorry guys. Very anticlimactic. That was more of a technical issue than a kind of a death in combat. Jeff says, time to start saving for a new rig. This looks amazing. Yeah, in my opinion, it's worth it. I've written a few articles on my website, froggyfrog9000.com, about how I justified spending many thousands of dollars on flight sims, which I think it is justifiable from my perspective, not from everybody's perspective. But have a look at that if you like. Haven't played much since 1946. Yeah, I still play 46. It's got a great library of planes. So many planes you can fly in there. Diabetic Ace, wildly addicting. Yeah, it's pretty addicting. It's pretty good fun. Alright, so not the best ending, but that was an excellent session overall. I killed a PE2, I killed a fighter, I'm assuming it was a lag, maybe it was a yak. And yeah, happy days. So no victories in this flight, but nonetheless, well. So guys, I'm going to take off now. Thanks very much everyone that's watching at home and everyone that participated in the chat and everyone that was on the server. That was pretty good fun. I'm sure we'll have a lot more good fun sessions in the future as well. This is the Froggy Frog 9000 channel on YouTube. The website's froggyfrog9000.com. You can support the channel on Patreon. There's also a join button on the screen on YouTube. Click on the join button and have a look at what it says there. You can join the channel and become a channel member. If you do that, every time you write in the super chat, you get a unique Froggy Frog 9000 specific icon next to your profile pic or what have you. So that's kind of like a perk or what have you of supporting the channel. And smash the like button if you'd be so kind. Thanks very much everyone, and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow for another adventure. Bye for now.